Yay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first Effect House office hours of in this time zone for the 2024. Here, we will be answering all your questions about Effect House in the next 30 minutes, and we welcome all technical and non-technical questions. If it's your first time here, my name is Vanessa, and I'm an Effect House community manager. And here's my guest, Mingus. Mingus, do you want to? Hey,
How are
everyone.
you?
Mingus,
How
what
are
do
you,
you do
Vanessa?
here in Effect House?
Sorry, we're good to jump in?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think we've got he chum. Let me know if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. We've got Cal today. We've got Wanda from Indonesia, Cal from Malaysia, Rebecca Salado. Hello. As always, I would like to know where everyone's from so we get some ideas where everyone's at. And we've got Cah Kampung, Arizal. I believe you guys are from Indo, and Mike Blackchat. We've also got Mahmoud Abdullah in Hamon. Yay, lots of people. Yeah, tell us where you're coming from. And I think today, if you see Effect House replying, that's Celine. You probably all know Celine from all her other live stream. Yeah, I think we will start with Mingus introducing us with some of the latest feature in Effect House.
Okay, cool. Hey, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I am reading your questions. Yes, I can show you about draw mode. Yes, I can show you some cloth. I'll start by saying version 370 has started to roll out. About 50% of you should have it, and the rest of you should be getting it over the next few days. But for those with it, I'll be giving you a little demo, and for those without it, consider it a sneak peek into the future, and hopefully you can still apply some of the stuff I've talked about once you get it. So I'll jump right in. Cool. Some
We're
cool things
so
we
excited. There's so many loves coming in from everyone.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. Yeah, so probably one of the more exciting things we've added in 370, and let me just turn on my camera. Sorry, my hair is a little bit of a mess today.
It's you
Um,
scam.
yeah, 1 second. Let me just here. Where's a okay? Problem solved. Hair's looking good. Yeah, one of the more exciting things we've added to 370 is cloth physics. So I'll quickly give you a little demo of how to use that. If you're new to physics, don't worry. It sounds a little more daunting than it actually is. So I'll add a sphere. Cool. And then I can add a component to that sphere. We'll go to 3D physics and we'll add a sphere collider to it. Okay, looking good. And then I'm going to, let's add a cube just for the sake of this. Oh, yeah, that's fine because I don't have a plane handy. If you want to do like a planar cloth, you're not going to want to use our, here, let me actually I'll build one for you all real quick. You're not going to want to use our plane that's in our tool just because you're going to want to use meshes that have been subdivided quite a bit because it's actually going to bend on the edges. And our plane that we have in tool is it's not very subdivided. So if you're just doing a planar mesh, be sure to make your own in whatever 3D software you use. Just for the sake of time, I'll just show you how to do it with a cube because, I don't even know if that's going to be that subdivided. Let me use our head mesh. Actually, let me art attack this. Watch this, y'all.
I think this is one of the most exciting updates we've had in the past few weeks. The things that you can do, and how realistic your like fashion AR can be with this feature is the potential is amazing.
Yeah, totally. So y'all can see here, this is all cloth physics going on in 370. So it's gonna actually like bounce off of the ball that falls. It's gonna actually hold the ball, prevent the ball from rolling, which you can see it doing here. And then you can also kind of swing it, like that's happening over here with another 3D object tethered to the bottom of it. Let me hide some of this stuff. So in short, what we're doing is you have our mesh here, and then you apply a cloth collider to it. So that's going to be add component, or sorry, a cloth to it, 3D physics, cloth, and that's immediately going to turn it into a cloth. If you want it to interact with 3D objects like it's doing with this ball, in the cloth component, you're going to want to click intercollision. Let's see which one has intercollision checked on. Cool. So you're going to want to have intercollision checked, and that pretty much means I want this cloth to collide with objects that have 3D colliders. If you want the cloth to just go through objects with 3D colliders, you can uncheck intercollision. You'll also see there's enable wind. So what that will do is if you have a cloth pinned, you can add wind to it. I'm not actually sure. Let's see what happens if I just add wind out of the blue. Which cloth are we playing around with here? Cool, the middle one. Let's try and add some wind to it and see if that works. I'll add 100. So you can see with this middle cloth now I've applied wind to it, which is very cool. So if you want to do flags or you want to do a dress blowing in the wind, you're going to be able to do that with 370. Shawls, maybe some hair stuff. And then you can kind of control a lot of properties with the wind as well. And of course, the direction the wind's going or the strength of the wind. It's best to use planar objects if you are going to do play around with cloth, but you'll see some more 3D objects can also work with it. They'll just collapse. So let me quickly, I'll give you a quick demo.
I love it. The physics of physicking here.
I know. So if we add a sphere or a cube, and then I'll apply a collider to the cube collider. Oops, box collider, there it is. And I'll make this kind of my ground that the cube is going to fall, or that the sphere is going to fall on. Cool. And then I can apply the cloth collider to the sphere, apply the cloth component to the sphere. You'll see it falls through if I don't check intercollision, but if I do check intercollision, it's going to fall onto the collider and smush, which is very cool. I don't know what will happen if I apply wind to it. Let's see if it blows while it smushes. Cool. You can see the winds applying to it after it falls down. We will have in our learning resources online kind of some limitations with the meshes that you're applying cloth to. So be sure to read into that if you want to make cloth objects. But that's kind of cloth in the nutshell. You're going to want to apply the cloth component to it. You're going to want to have some colliders that interact with it. And you're not going to want to apply cloth to anything too complex or with anything with multiple meshes. I know it's exciting to try to like make maybe a full complex dress as cloth, but try to keep it simple for now. I experienced asset error in cloth physics on imported Sketchfab model. Yeah, that's probably because of the limitations, Kyle, that I talked about. Maybe the model you imported was had multiple meshes, or maybe it had too many vertices, or maybe some of the other limitations. I can share them out after this as well. But yeah, try to keep things simple for now, and we'll slowly build out our cloth capabilities over the next few releases. Any other questions about cloth while we're on the topic? I see some woes, which is cool. I feel woe about it as well.
Yeah, we've got some new joiners today from Brazil, Valmir. There's Amir. There are also Sarah from Indonesia. And we've got a new joiner from Vietnam, LeFan.
Well, welcome everyone. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Philippines, everyone's here.
That's awesome. Another thing we have in 370 is, yeah, I hope it's a dream come true. That's what we're trying to do here. Make dreams come true. Another thing we've added, I'll just create a new project, is called depth texture. So you can access that in your add asset menu. You'll find it in textures, and then you'll find depth texture. I don't know if anyone's messed around with the portrait normal texture at all that we released last release, I believe, but depth texture is kind of the same family. I'll quickly show you what it does. I'll apply it to a screen image so you can actually see the texture. wouldn't probably generally be used just like this, but you can see what it's doing is it's doing its best to guess how close objects are to the camera. So the lighter something is, the farther it is away from itself. So you can see maybe my hoodie, it thinks is farther away than my hand, which it is. And obviously the background is way farther behind me. So kind of here, let me show you some things you can do with this. I'll get to that, Haley Cat. 1 second. Yeah, I can help you with that. So for this depth texture, you could use it to kind of like fade out the background, or if you wanted there to be more of a texture in the foreground, you could apply this as a opacity texture.
Wow.
I'll show you very quickly. It's kind of cool if you can combine it with our material editor. It's quite actually simple, but you can see I'm using these two sliders here to kind of draw this blue kind of slice in space. So this is going further away in space, and then this is bringing it closer to me in space. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just telling the blue to kind of appear at a certain like value, a gray value. For those that don't use Material Editor, this might be a little complex, but I can also share this project if anyone requests it on the forum. But in short, I'm looking at the depth texture for this room, and then I'm telling it, hey, blue, I want you to be only at this particular amount of gray. So it looks kind of like it's a slice through the room, kind of at a particular distance from the camera. But yeah, you can do all sorts of things with this, a lot more complex than this. You can really try to build out a room space now, depending on your skill set. Haley, as for the cloth on the face, cloth can't be combined. Here, let me bring my face back. If I add a 3D face, cloth can't be combined with the face binding component, unfortunately, because the face binding component wants it to bind my face, and then the cloth obviously wants it to fall. But if you remove the face binding component, and then you can pull this face texture, and we can apply it to the face paint. If we're doing this right. Cool. I think then we can make this face texture fall. Let's see. If we add a cube and we scale this out, this is going to be kind of our floor that it's falling on. Scale, scale, move. Bear with me while we're doing this together. And then we can add a box collider. If all goes well, let's see if I can add a cloth component to this face. And did I add it? What's still on this face? Mesh, render, transform, intercollision. It's unhappy, y'all. Let's see. Mask cloth. Okay, maybe there's something else it doesn't like as well. Let's try. Maybe it actually can't be the 3D face binding mesh at all, and it just has to be our face mask, which you can download from our website. Yeah, I think if you import the 3D mesh from our website, as opposed to using this 3D face binding mesh, I don't think it likes having this 3D face binding mesh at all. I think it just wants to use the 3D face mask. So it won't actually be able to conform itself to the face. But if you do that and apply the face texture to it, I think that should work. But if not, hit me up on the forum. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but I'm a little easier to access on our forum these days than maybe on the Discord. So find me there if you need me.
I'll drop the link for the Discord, for the forum, so that if anyone has technical questions, that's Mingus's space to answer all your technical questions right there.
I'll show you all a few other new things. We've got a couple new generative effects. So we're going to have shocked, which is how I looked when I saw the cloth physics. Feel free to combine this with whatever you want. And we have neutral, which is it's this. It's kind of just an unimpressed generative effect. So feel free to use these as you want. And of course, combine them with other things or make them reactions to things happening in your effect. For anyone who likes, let me delete this custom material. For anyone who likes text effects, we have a lot of new string nodes that you can use that are also been added to 370. So if you search string, you'll see we have a append string, for example. So if I add a text object and I plug this in and I update that, cool. You can now add two strings, for example. So like hello and everyone. And what this node is going to do is it's going to add these two strings together. So you can plug whatever you want and it will combine them. You can replace strings. So if my source string said hello everyone and I wanted to replace hello with bye, you can see this is going to take the source string and then it's going to replace hello with bye. So there's I believe 7 new nodes you can all mess around with that have to do with strings. Yeah, for those who do scoreboards or those that like to plug information in, yeah, those should be helpful for you or anyone who does text-based effects. Oh yeah, Cal, you're just you're doing my job for me. Yeah, we increased our bone count, so nothing has changed with the body avatar drive. But if you're just importing rigged 3D models, we used to have a maximum bone count of 50, and now in 3.7 we have a maximum bone count of 100. So you should be able to import a lot more complex rigs, which is cool. Let's see what else. Is there anything I have forgot? Oh, one other cool thing is if you have a big effect and you're repeating a lot of things, say I like these text settings, you can click here and you can create a preset for these settings, and I'll call it Mingus's favorite text. And then if I add another text object, and it looks like this, whatever, I can apply my preset, Mingus's favorite text, and it will change it to be those saved properties. So if you're repeating a lot of objects or you're using these settings a lot, say you always want your text to be the same font and the same kind of size, you can save out your properties as a preset, and then you can apply them anywhere in your project. What's good to note, though, is you won't be able to use these presets right now in other project files. So this preset will just exist in this project file and can be applied to components in this project file. You may also see that we've got a bunch of new fonts, which is also super exciting because I know a lot of people were a little tired of importing all their fonts. So these are the same fonts that are in the TikTok app. Maybe they're called typefaces technically, depends if we have any graphic design people with us. But you'll see if you, I mean, I'm sure you all are familiar with a lot of these from making TikTok videos, but all your favorite fonts are here now and can be used in Effect House and can also be, of course, plugged in with all our visual scripting. So your scoreboards and all of your text and whatnot no longer have to be just that one font we provided previously.
Wow,
I
that's
think
a lot to unpack.
that's most of it for now. Are there questions coming in? Let me check the old.
So far, I think there's one question from Badir Gaming about learning how to make game from scratch and get a contract. I'm not sure what the get a contract refers to, but for making game from scratch, there are a lot of resources already available on this specific YouTube account, and you can check them out. There are a lot of showcases from our creators as well as our team. So you can. This is a great place to start. And if anyone, yeah, and also,
oh, I was gonna say we are always adding lots of new templates. So I don't know the last time you checked the template screen, but as an example, we just recently added this dessert dash template that hopefully I can show you all after it loads. Okay, it's a big project file. August really packed a lot
Pop
into
it
this
all in.
project file. Let's see
Yeah.
if it blows my
Mhm.
computer up while I'm streaming. But yeah, we have, I think, maybe like 4 or 5, 6. Don't quote me, but we have quite a number of game templates that you can not only swap the assets out of to make your own game, but even just use them as educational resources, because there's all sorts of visual scripting in them that you can check out. This is not loading very well. Let me see if I can load a different game just for the sake of demonstrating. Okay, that one's a lot faster. When you have a sec or are on better Wi-Fi than me, feel free to check out that Dessert Dash. But yeah, as
We
far as
have.
games go, oh, sorry,
Mhm.
Vanessa.
Yeah, as far as games go.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. So you're using your nose, for example, to avoid the barriers. And our template team hopefully makes it very easy for you all to understand just where you swap out assets so you can change the ladybug for something or change the visuals and kind of make these games your own. And then of course you can double click into the subgraphs, and this is almost like a master class in themselves, because this is how some of our best effect creators are making these templates. So feel free to jump into these and hopefully take some tips away from them. Yeah, and then we also
Perfect.
have a bunch of new templates
Mhm.
unrelated to games we've added as well. I don't know if everyone's checked those out, but feel free to look into all of these. Tons of cool stuff here, tons of learning you can do, and tons of cool effects you can make.
Yeah, thanks, Mingus, for showing
Of course.
that. That's helpful. And we have a few more questions. Hopefully, we can fit them all in the last 6 minutes or so.
Okay.
So the next question is from Brian Gutierrez. He's asking if he has a JPEG sequence that he's exported with black background. Is there a way to convert that to transparent in EH?
Yeah, I
In
mean,
effect?
here, oops. Let's see if I have any texture sequences with black in them we can look at and try to, they're all kind of on a black background automatically, so it's a little hard to check. Oh, my Wi-Fi is not happy streaming and using Effecthouse. I'm just looking for a texture that has some black in it. This one looks like it does, but that's actually a PNG, I think. You should be able to just play around. Let's try that again. Let me just maybe do an image with black on it. Okay, let's try this one. With the blend modes of the texture sequence that you're using. So, oh, golly. Come on, there you go.
What's happening is coming.
Cool. So if you go to the image, you will see all sorts of blend modes. I would have to double check that it's the exact same on our animation sequences. Maybe you have it open in front of you right now and can let me know. But oh yeah, no problem, Brian. Yeah, down here, that one's gonna take away the white. I forget exactly which one takes away the black. Oh, looks like Lighten could do that for you. Feel free to mess around with them all and see what works. And then, of course, if it's not working for you, I recommend taking the background out in another app and then just importing them as a PNG sequence, and that should work for you as well. Okay, I have
Yeah,
lots of questions. Cal, I saw you
there's
asked if we can import fonts. No, sorry if I said that. Sorry to get your hopes up. We just have more fonts in Effecthouse now, but you cannot import your own like OTF files for the moment.
loving your eyes. We've got one question from Max, PXD. How
Hi,
can
Max.
one separate the user, which is portrait segmentation, from the background with the user media?
Okay, if you're asking, can you import a texture using user media and then remove the background from that texture? Like if I had it from my camera roll, you can't do that yet, unfortunately, but maybe soon. Yeah, for now, user media texture is just going to be however the texture is imported. You might see here, like we have what's called user media segmentation. That's not that. This is just showing you how to put a user media texture behind a portrait segmentation texture, but it's not actually going to let you apply segmentation to the image that the effect user imports. But it's that's something on the roadmap for sure, is the ability to isolate just the person from the user media texture.
And we've got, I think we've got time for 2 more questions. The second last one is from Mela Creative. Hi Mela, can you please show how to import another face like a cartoon? Oh, you did do that, didn't you?
How? Let me see.
How can you show how to import another face like a cartoon?
How to import a face? Like if you have just a picture of a face? Is that the question? You can import any texture or image right here. Oh, are you asking about cartoon generative effect? That's what I see Celine reading. If you want to do that, you can click generative effect and cartoon, and then I will be a cartoon. And if you want to swap, we got 2 types right now, this one and this one. We also in 3.70 have new generative effects in our asset library as well. So for example, we have vampire that you might know from TikTok. I think this is currently being combined with the cartoon. There you go. We've got vampire. And then we have a few other ones in there as well. So feel free to check all those out. Cal, I will get to your distortion question. I know you asked it right at the beginning. I think you have a bug from what I saw you sent, Vanessa. So, but let me just make sure. Your question was how to apply draw modes to 2D images. Here's a screen image. You're not going to maybe like this, but it's as simple as that for me. I think it's just not applying in your effect house. I saw you changed it to white texture as well, but for me, that still works just fine. So I think maybe you have a bug, and I would recommend filing it if I'm understanding correctly. Do you have a bug?
If it's a bug,
Okay.
should we?
It's a bug. You can message me. You know where to find me, but message me. I will throw it back to Vanessa because we're wrapping up. But find me on the forum if you have more questions, everyone.
Yep. I think Kasai requested a quick test project with depth texture. We could address that in the next office hour, Kasai.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for joining us from New York. I know it's pretty late there. And I think that brings our office hour to an end. Before we end it, I just want to let everyone know that if no matter where you are in your effect creation journey, we currently have 2 missions. One mission is called the monthly mission, and this is perfect for you if you're bronze, silver, or gold level batch creators, and the other mission is top creator mission for platinum and diamond creators. So you have more chances to win any prizes, and at the same time gain some skills to upskill. And if bonus points if you actually use any of the feature that you used from the 3.7. For the mission though, if you leveled up, let's say from gold to platinum this month, then the top creator mission will only unlock for you in the next month. I think that's a lot of question we get on the Discord. And that's it for me. I think that brings us to an end. Thank you so much for coming to the first office hour in this time zone today, and thumbs up if you found this useful. If we didn't get to answer your question, I think I've shared the forum. Please hit up our forum, and Mingus will be there at community.effecthouse.com. And remember to follow us on our socials at Effect House on TikTok, Instagram, Discord, and Twitter. This office hour, as usual, will be uploaded to YouTube in the next few days. So subscribe to this YouTube, and you'll be the first one to access the tutorials of the latest feature. Enjoy the rest of your day, and see you at the same time in 2 weeks. See ya.